Hi everyone, welcome back to the Analytics Pod, where we dive into all things data analytics. Today we're exploring a super important topic that every data enthusiast, team or aspiring data guru needs to get right, and that is setting up a data analytics environment. Think of your analytics environment like your own personal data lab. It's where the magic happens, where you store, process and transform your data into meaningful insights. In this episode, we'll break down the difference between on-prem and cloud analytics. We'll peek at data warehousing solutions like Snowflake, Redshift and BigQuery, and wrap up with a fun tour of the data analytics toolkit. So let's kick things off with a classic showdown: on-prem or on-premises versus cloud. So hosting an analytics environment in-house is like throwing a party at your own place. You are in control of the decorations, the food and who comes in. The upside: you have total control over hardware, networking and security. You can tailor everything exactly how you want. The downside: there's a hefty upfront cost for servers and maintenance. Plus, you are on the hook for managing everything. If something breaks at 2 AM, you and your IT team are pulled into an all-nighter. On-prem, which is short for on-premises by the way, is often chosen by organizations that have very strict compliance needs or massive in-house data centers already. Think government organizations or large banks that need to keep everything super locked down. With the cloud, it's like booking an Airbnb for your party. You don't have to worry about building the house or fixing the plumbing. You just show up, decorate and enjoy. Services like AWS, Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud Platform let you pay for what you use. So if your data needs spike suddenly, you can scale up quickly. No frantic hardware purchases required. The pros: low or no upfront costs, easy scalability and reduced maintenance headaches. The cons: you're trusting another company to host your data, so you must ensure they meet your security and compliance needs. Plus, if you're not careful, you can still rack up big bills if you leave high-powered services running 24/7. So how do you choose? If you want maximum control and have the budget, on-prem might be your jam. If you value speed, flexibility and less hardware drama, cloud is probably going to be your friend. Now onto the heart of most modern analytics environments: data warehouses. Let's compare a few popular ones. Number 1, Snowflake. Snowflake is like the fancy co-working space in the cloud. It's built specifically for cloud environments, AWS, Azure or GCP. Its claim to fame is the separation of storage and compute. In plain English, that means you can scale up the processing power independently from how much data you store, which can be a big cost saver. Snowflake also has a user-friendly interface and good performance, but keep in mind you rely heavily on Snowflake's own ecosystem and pricing model. Number 2 is Amazon Redshift. Redshift is part of the AWS family, making it easy to integrate into services like S3 or Glue. If you are already an AWS user, Redshift can be a straightforward choice. It's been around for a while, so there's plenty of community support. Performance can be great if you configure your clusters correctly, so watch your distribution styles and concurrency. Number 3 is Google BigQuery. BigQuery is serverless, meaning you don't have to fiddle with servers or clusters. You pay for the amount of data you query, which can be fantastic for teams that run sporadic queries rather than constant ones. It integrates seamlessly with Google's ecosystem. Think Dataflow and PubSub and Looker Studio. If your team is into all things Google, BigQuery is a strong contender. Number 4, Azure Synapse. I'm giving it an honorable mention. Synapse is Microsoft's all-in-one solution that blends data warehousing, data integration, and big data analytics. If your organization is already in the Microsoft world using Power BI, Azure, or Office 365, Synapse is worth a look. Synapse is being replaced by Microsoft Fabric, which is a level above Synapse. It sort of integrates a lot of the tools being used in Synapse into one bigger cohesive product, so have a look at that as well. When choosing a data warehouse, consider what ecosystem you're already in, your budget, and how you plan to scale. Snowflake is great if you want a standalone cloud agnostic approach. Redshift is perfect for AWS fans. BigQuery is awesome for GCP lovers. Now let's hop onto security. Now security might sound about as exciting as a tax audit, but trust me, it's important. If your data gets compromised, it doesn't matter how awesome your analytics are. So let's talk about data security and compliance. Number 1, encryption. Always encrypt your data, both in transit, that's while it's moving from place to place, and as rest when it's just sitting there. Cloud providers usually have built-in key management services to help handle encryption keys. Number 2, access control. Limit who can see what. Use role-based access controls, or RBAC as some people call it, or something similar, so only the right people can access sensitive data. And of course, use multi-factor authentication, that is your friend. Don't make life easy for hackers. Compliance frameworks. Regulations like GDPR, HIPAA, or PCI-DSS exist to protect data and privacy. Cloud providers typically have compliance certifications, but remember the shared responsibility model. They handle the security of the cloud and you handle the security in the cloud, if you understand. Number 4 is logging and monitoring. You want to know if something suspicious is happening. Setting up logs and alerts is important. Tools like AWS CloudTrail, Azure Monitor, or GCP audit logs let you track who's doing what in your environment. The rule of thumb, build security and compliance into your data pipelines from day one. Believe me, I know it sounds tedious, but it's a lot easier than retrofitting it later or having to explain a breach to Exco. Now for the fun stuff, your toolkit. This is where you will turn raw data into dashboards, reports, and predictive models. Let's break down some must-have tools. At number 1, the programming languages. Python is the current rockstar of data science. With libraries like Pandas, NumPy, scikit-learn, and TensorFlow, it's your go-to for data wrangling, machine learning, and everything in between. R is another favorite, especially for statistical analysis. Packages like ggplot and caret help you transform and visualize data with relative ease. Number 2 is SQL. SQL is the bread and butter of data manipulation. Whether you're on MySQL, Postgres, or a managed cloud service, SQL is key for querying structured data. If you haven't learned SQL yet, trust me, you use it every day in data analytics. Number 3, BI tools. Tableau is known for its slick drag and drop interface, making it easy to build interactive dashboards. Power BI by Microsoft is a cost-effective alternative that integrates nicely with the Office 365 suite. You find that most environments who are very Microsoft heavy automatically switch over to Power BI. And Power BI is also integrated into Microsoft Fabric, which I mentioned earlier. Looker or Looker Studio from Google is also popular with a modeling layer that helps standardize metrics across your organization. Number 4 is data engineering and ETL or ELT tools. Tools like Airflow, AWS Glue, or dbt, data build tool, help automate and orchestrate data pipelines, ensuring data arrives clean and on time. Using a robust ETL or ELT setup helps maintain data quality and keeps your warehouses from devolving into a messy data swamp. Number 5, we have notebooks and collaboration. Jupyter Notebooks or Google Colab make it easy to mix code, visualizations, and explanations in one place. Great for experimentation and quick prototyping. And don't forget Git. Version control is key to tracking changes and collaborate with team members without stepping on each other's toes. And then some other cool extras, data cataloging. Tools like Alation and Calibra can help you keep track of what data you have and where it lives. Monitoring and alerting. Tools like Grafana and Prometheus ensure you can see performance metrics and get alerted if something goes off the rails. And that, folks, is a wrap on setting up a data analytics environment. We covered the on-prem versus cloud debate, explored data warehousing with Snowflake, Redshift, BigQuery, talked about security and compliance, and finish off with a tour of the best analytics tools in the business. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Your perfect analytics environment depends on your organization's needs, budget, and expertise. But hopefully this gives you a solid roadmap to kickstart or refine your data setup. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to the Analytics Pod and hitting the like button. Do you have questions, suggestions, or your own environment setup stories? Please drop them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!